It is worth considering that Samsung is about to completely change how we think about foldable phones. The Z Fold 8 just got certified in China, and the details we're seeing are absolutely wild. But here's the really exciting part. Samsung isn't just making one version of the Fold 8. They're creating something called the Wide Fold that looks nothing like any Samsung foldable we've ever seen. We're talking about a completely different design philosophy that could make foldable phones way more useful for watching videos and getting work done. Today we're diving deep into everything we know about both the standard Z Fold 8 and this mysterious wide fold variant. From faster charging speeds to totally new dimensions, Samsung is clearly trying something big here. So stick around because we're about to break down all the leaked specs, images, and certifications that just surfaced. Let's start with the big news that kicked all of this off. The Samsung Z Fold 8 Wide just received its China Compulsory Certificate, which is basically a safety certification that products need to get sold in China. Now the certification doesn't explicitly name it as the Wide Fold, but it carries the model number SMF917. That's completely separate from the standard Z Fold 8, which uses the model number SMF976. This certification is huge because it confirms that Samsung has finalized the hardware for both devices. Companies typically don't get these certifications unless they're pretty close to actually releasing the product. And based on Samsung's usual schedule, we're probably looking at a summer release for both phones. But the certification revealed something even more interesting about charging speeds. The Z Fold 8 is getting a major upgrade in the charging department. We're looking at 45-watt wired superfast charging, which is a massive jump from the 25-watt charging on last year's Z Fold 7. That's nearly double the charging speed, which means you'll be able to top up your battery way faster. Now, faster charging usually means one of two things. Either Samsung improved their charging technology, or they added a bigger battery that needs more power. And based on the leaked dimensions, it looks like they might have gone with a bigger battery. The new specification leak shows that the Galaxy Z Fold 8 will be slightly thicker than its predecessor. When unfolded, it measures 158.4 by 143.2 by 4.5 millimeters. When folded, it's 158.4 by 72.8 by 9 millimeters. Compare that to the Fold 7's 4.2 millimeter thickness when unfolded, and you're looking at an extra 0.3 millimeters. That might not sound like much, but in the world of ultra-thin phones, every fraction of a millimeter matters. The Z Fold 7 was incredibly slim because Samsung used a new compact motherboard design that they also put in the ultra-slim S25 Edge. That allowed them to keep the same 4400 mAh battery from the Z Fold 6, even while making the phone 1.4 millimeters thinner. So if Samsung is adding thickness back to the Fold 8, they're probably doing it for a good reason. Most likely, they're cramming in a larger battery to support those faster charging speeds and longer battery life. Now let's talk about the real star of the show, the Z Fold 8 Wide. New CAD images just leaked, and this thing looks completely different from any Samsung foldable we've seen before. The design is way more squat and wider than the tall, slim build of regular Z Fold phones. The leaked dimensions really tell the story here. The wide fold is reportedly just 123.9 millimeters tall, which is over 30 millimeters shorter than the standard model. If you're having trouble visualizing what this looks like, think about the original Google Pixel Fold. That had a more passport-style design that was wider and shorter than Samsung's traditional approach. The wide fold is going down that same path, and it makes sense for a lot of reasons. According to the leak, the wide fold will have a 5.4-inch cover display and a 7.6-inch inner display. Meanwhile, the regular Galaxy Z Fold 8 is expected to have a 6.5-inch cover screen and a larger 8-inch inner screen. So you're trading some screen size for a different aspect ratio and form factor. In the leaked renders, the wide fold looks like a small Galaxy Tab when you unfold it. And that's exactly the point Samsung is going for here. This device is designed for 16:9 video consumption that fills the screen way more effectively than the square-ish aspect ratio of previous folds. Think about it. When you watch YouTube videos or Netflix shows on current fold phones, you get these black bars on the top and bottom because the screen is too tall and narrow. The wide fold should eliminate that problem by giving you a screen that matches the aspect ratio of most video content. The thickness measurements are also pretty interesting. The wide fold reportedly measures 4.9 mm when unfolded and 9.8 mm when folded. That makes it thicker than the standard Galaxy Z Fold 7, which measures 4.2 mm unfolded and 8.9 mm folded. The extra thickness could mean room for a larger battery, which would make sense if this device is aimed at people who want to watch a lot of video. It could also potentially mean S Pen support, though we haven't seen any confirmation of that yet. One thing that's definitely different is the camera setup. The leaked renders show that the wide fold only has 2 camera sensors instead of the 3 found on the Z Fold 7. This really supports the idea that Samsung is positioning the wide fold as more of a foldable tablet with phone features rather than a phone-first device. If you're primarily using this thing for media consumption and productivity, you probably don't need the most advanced camera system Samsung can build. The camera setup looks similar to what we've seen on the S25 Edge, so we're probably looking at a main 200 megapixel camera and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera, plus an LED flash. Samsung also isn't using an under-display camera on either the internal screen or the cover screen of the wide fold. That's probably a cost-saving measure and also helps keep the device simpler and more reliable. Now, there are some trade-offs with the wide fold design. Even though it's wider overall, the foldable screen is actually smaller at 7.5 inches compared to 8 inches on the regular Fold 8. That size difference might be due to bigger bezels on the wide fold, but we'll have to wait and see the final product to know for sure. The wide fold is also thicker in both folded and unfolded states, adding around 0.4 mm when unfolded and 0.8 mm when folded. So you're definitely giving up some portability in exchange for that different form factor and potentially better video experience. But here's what's really exciting about all of this. Samsung is finally giving people choices in the foldable space. For years, if you wanted a Samsung foldable, you basically had one option with minor variations. Now they're saying, hey, do you want a traditional phone-style foldable, or do you want something that's more like a tablet that folds in half? Both devices are expected to come with a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset, which should provide plenty of power for whatever you want to do. They'll also get new AI features, the latest version of One UI, and other improvements that Samsung typically adds with each generation. The timing of these certifications and leaks suggests that Samsung is getting close to finalizing both devices for a summer launch. That would line up with their traditional timeline for announcing new foldable phones. So there you have it. Samsung is about to give us not one, but 2 very different takes on the foldable phone concept. The standard Z Fold 8 looks like a solid evolution with faster charging and potentially better battery life. But the wide fold could be the more interesting device if you're someone who wants a foldable primarily for media consumption and productivity tasks. The question is whether there's actually demand for 2 different foldable form factors, or if Samsung is just experimenting to see what sticks. What do you think about Samsung's approach here? Would you be more interested in the traditional Z Fold 8, or does the wide fold's tablet-like design appeal to you more? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to hit that like button if this video helped you understand what Samsung is planning. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any updates as we get closer to the official announcement. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.